Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We extend you a very warm welcome on 28th of July 2023. That's Friday. Hope you all are taking care of yourself. You're fine. You're in the best of health. You're in the best of happiness. And at the same time, you are skilling yourself, improving yourself, and developing yourself every day, every day. The best investment which somebody can do in this universe is you got to upskill yourself. You got to empower yourself. You got to look smart, walk smart, talk smart. Everything has to be done in a way. And we extend a very hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the globe. Wherever you are, wherever you are joining from, it's indeed a great pleasure to have you with us. Today's topic, once again, because we are doing nowadays a series of the Northeast part of India. So we are moving in that. And today, basically, we take on something very interesting for all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of technical challenges, when you travel, when you move from one place to another place. Somewhere you get the better bandwidth, and somewhere you have the challenges on the bandwidth. Anyway, we will manage the show. Whatever the bandwidth is, we'll try and work it out the best possible way. Now, let's go ahead. What is vocational education? Who are vocational teachers? And why are we focusing on Northeast part of India and particularly our youth? Today we'll talk in detail, but before that, let me tell you, today is the World Nature Conservation Day. That's a July 28th. It's a World Nature Conservation Day. So let's preserve our nature. Let's conserve our nature and let's pass on to our next generation better than what we got from our ancestors. On behalf of ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, we extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. And let's move on with our non-resident Indian friends and our Indian corporate, wherever they are, the people are doing wonderful. Let me extend a very warm welcome to Sakshi, to Julie ma'am, to Gohin, to Lakyajit, and to Rishi Mohan. And at the same time, I have got here Rosh, and Anjan Kumar Bora. We extend a very hearty welcome to all of them for being with us on the YouTube channel for this particular special program. Let's recapitulate. We started our journey for the Northeast India on 17th of July. The first program we had focus on service industry. Thereafter, we moved on potential of the tourism industry in the Northeast. That was 18th of July. 19th of July, we came to Northeast India Youth Advantage Soft Skills. And if you recall, if you remember, I very categorically made a mention over here that the soft skills are superb as far as the Northeast India youth are concerned. And when you talk about soft skills, that is your etiquette, your manner, your gesture, your body language, your personality, your articulation, your communication, your connecting, and being positive in all situations and live for today, enjoy today. And that's the way we should take up the life. Whatsoever has gone is gone by. Whatever has to come in future, what is there in the storage, we do not know. But we got to live in the present and we got to enjoy our present. Thereafter, we came on to life skills. And that was the next day, where basically we talked about now, when you say the life skills, that means now you have to understand there is a lifelong learning, and we have to empower, irrespective your age profile, wherever you are, whatsoever you are. I'm also learning. I also learn from each one of you. All of us, we learn from each other, learn the best possible way. And the best investment you can do on this planet in anything, invest in your own self growth. Because if you are better, then you can perform better. Then on 21st of July, we came to rural tourism and agri-tourism in the Northeast India. And once again, we focused our youth. Let's move ahead. What exactly is here? Then we had come on to adventure tourism. Look at the thrills of the water in the beautiful rivers and lakes of Northeast part of India. And there once again, children, youth, those are taking care of adventure tourism. Then we came on to ecotourism, nature tourism, wildlife tourism, flora and fauna tourism, green tourism, farm tourism, agri-tourism, all that we discussed. Then we came to spiritual journey. That means our culture, our heritage, our values, our lifestyle, our living, everything we discussed about. And then we talked about wellness tourism. That means your physical wellness, your mental wellness, your spiritual wellness, your environmental wellness, and global wellness. And of course, with all this is important, that is your economic wellness. You have to get a good job, you have to get good employment, and at the same time, you have to see what best you can do. Let's move ahead. Then we talked about, for the Northeast India youth, cultural tourism, culinary tourism. We took this particular area as well. And then we came on film tourism. And on the film tourism, that means cinematic tourism, film-induced tourism, how cinema, how films, how television serials, how music influences tourism. That's what we discussed in detail. Today's focus is going to be on vocational education and why it is important for job seekers. And when we talk about job seekers, that means our youth. At the same time, what our youth will become, that would depend upon what kind of a teaching is being imparted, what kind of a teachers we have got, what kind of a mentors we have got, what kind of a coach we have got, what kind of an education we are imparting. That is something very, very important, which we all have to realize. So when we talk about skills, when we talk about competencies, when we talk about talent, when we talk about whatsoever is your passion, over there, lots of things come to our mind. Now, in skills, is it your abilities? Is it your growth? Is it your professional touch? Is it your advancement? Is it your progress? And what exactly is the success in life? You got to understand from that point of view. That is something which is very important. Let's talk about vocational education teacher. Now, there's a work, there's a learning, and when we talk about these two, there is a life. You've got to enjoy your life. You've got to shape your life. You've got to chisel your life. You've got to sharpen your life. And when you sharpen your life, that means you sharpen your skills. Now, vocational education teachers, they not only teach, they practically instruct you on the vocationals, on the occupational subjects, which is there to further enhance your competence and your capabilities. When we talk about vocational education, your academic qualification doesn't make a difference. what skills you possess, what jobs you can perform, what areas you excel. That is something very important. So in vocational education, when we talk about, and vocational education training, when we talk about, you got to take career and technical education, and we prepare the learner, that means our students, for the jobs that are based in a practical activities. Whatever profession you get into, you got to be practical. You got to work out that whatever you're performing, you want to go to best school, you want to go to best doctor, you want to go to best hospital. Why do you call best? That means you have a faith, whatsoever will be given to you over there, that's what you were, whatever the doctor will give you over there, you were looking forward to that. That is something very important, which we have to see, because you trust. You might go 5, 7, 10 kilometers extra to a doctor because you have a faith in that doctor. Now, what could be the main aim of the vocational education? There are different vocations. There are different skills. Everybody can do lots of things, but everybody cannot do everything. Now, vocational education is the education that prepares the students for the skilled craft. They may become artisan, they may pick up a particular trade, and they may take a particular work. It all depends on what is their passion. Vocational education can also be seen as that type of education which prepares the students or individuals to be gainfully employed or self-employed or startup or whatever you want to do. You get those requisite skills. Then comes vocational teacher. Vocational teacher has to be very passionate. Vocational teacher has to be nicely skilled. Vocational teacher has to be competent. Vocational teacher has to have good communication skills. Vocational teacher has to have the subject knowledge in depth in a practical way, not in a theoretical way. They prepare the students, as we told, either for employment or for entrepreneurship or for startup or for anything you talk about. That is the way you go by. Now, when you learn, there could be a project-based learning also. You take a particular project and you discuss that particular project. You acquire the skills and competencies related to that project. And that particular thing, then you turn into your profession and you work on. Now, how do you boost and how do you empower your? When we talk about it, now let us boost your career with what? With vocational courses. What kind of a vocational courses when we talk about? You got to have advanced training. You got to reskill, you got to upskill, you got to empower yourself, you got to increase your competencies, you have to increase your knowledge, you have to continuous learning, you got to gain the experience of the subject you want to take on, you got to increase your ability and capability, and that would ultimately give you the growth, and you will be on the growth trajectory and the growth path, which we all have to take into considerations. Vocational education and training, when we talk about, this is the most important slide which I wish to share with all of you. There are different sector skill councils under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. You must have heard about NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. When we talk about these sector skill councils, they work on separate, specific sectors where they give you all those skills, whatsoever you are needing. Now, can you imagine these are 37, 38 sector skill councils? And when you talk about wellness sector skill council, and as I made a mention to you earlier, you need all kind of wellness if you want to survive in this world. At the same time, you have got tourism, you have got hospitality, you have got aviation, you have got telecom, you have got IT, you have got ITS, you have got agriculture, you have got manufacturing, you name it. And all the sector scale councils are available here. You have to only upskill yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, education got to have a definite purpose. Whatever education we acquire, why do we study a particular subject? Why do we go to school? Why do we go to college? Why do we go to skill center? It has to give us some output, and we have to work in the particular direction where we find that the education, skills, and outcome of these two is linked something very important with entrepreneurship, with employment, with startup, and generally we call it MSME. That is a micro, small, and medium enterprise. I still recall way back in 1994, almost you can say 29 years back, we set up India's first finishing school for the service industry. And over here, all the segments of services sector we had taken, and our focus was the education should not be dry. Whether you are teaching soft skill or life skill or technical skill or global skill, you got to build the innovative stories, and you have to have an art where children enjoy the best possible way. When we talk about technical, vocational education, teachers and training, now there could be some challenges also. First of all, you got to make them trainer and master trainer. So their skills have also to be empowered. They have to work in the direction where the students and the children, their employability increases. And at the same time, women empowerment is very important. And that's why female participation in every respect. Now, the training center should have learning facilities, adequate learning facilities, appropriate learning facilities. And the people, those are imparting vocational education, they got to have industrial linkages. They should know the corporate world. They should know what all is going on in the corporate sector. And teachers training regularly has to be taken care of. Now our finishing school post-pandemic time has gone totally digital. Now everybody is talking about today technology, artificial intelligence, how things are seeping in. So we have also changed from the physical structure, we have come to the digital structure. And when we talk about digital structure, it is very important for us to understand that whether children personality or their communication or their curiosity or their creativity or their critical thinking or their empathy, whatever we have to do, we can do through this digital inspirational lab. And digital inspirational lab also conveys that education should be joyful. It should be happiness. At the same time, whatever skill you are acquiring, it's important you have to understand that your education, your skills, and your vocational has to be relevant to your day-to-day life. Unless it is not relevant to your life, why you should learn a particular subject. So our chamber is working very hard towards capacity building of the teachers, educator, and youth. And when we talk about digital inspirational lab of our chamber, our total focus is let's make education and skills relevant for everybody. Let's learn through nature. Let's learn with technology. Let's take on the best possible way. And finally, I just wish to say, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Every day we meet at 8 p.m. in the evening for a short, crisp deliberation and discussions and your views. So it's on your YouTube channel at the rate ICSI India Live. This is your YouTube channel. Share it, like it, subscribe it, put on your views and comments onto it, because we appreciate, like Rosh, who has joined us. A lot of comments are coming. He's the new gentleman who has joined us, and Dara Chauhanji has also joined from Delhi. I'm so grateful to him. Then there are some regular people, those are joining us every day. So I'm so grateful to all of them. because they're the part of it. Now, if you want to become vocational teacher, whether you want to get in school or you want to get in college or you want to get in university, now generally we hear, the UGC net is to be qualified. Now, for that matter, those are interested to become tourism teachers, tourism vocational teachers, hospitality vocational teachers. We are working in the direction for you. We are starting on 15th of August on India's Independence Day, a special program for all of you, and that will be online crash course where we will have everything coming for you for UGC net program. Now, this is the beautiful when I take you to Sandy Towers, the hotel which is in Bhubaneswar. And what is our upcoming event over there? The 22nd Annual International Convention of the Feast, Forum of Educators and Scholars of Tourism. And when you talk about educators and skill providers for tourism, hospitality, aviation, over here, we are taking the most appropriate topic for this particular conference and convention, that is artificial intelligence in tourism and hospitality education. So welcome to 22nd Feast Annual Convention. Do join us at Bhubaneswar. I'm grateful to these dignitaries, my deep gratitude under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Subhash Goyal, the chairman of the convention. We all are moving. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow evening at 8 p.m., we will be talking about lakes and rivers tourism of the Northeast India. And once again, our focus must be youth of Northeast part of India. With these words, thank you very much for joining us today. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Till then, take care of yourself. Be happy. Enjoy every moment of your life.